The Glowmite Queen cradles newborn apostles swaddled in this cloth. Soon they will grow to become the death of the gods. The Godskin apostles, venerable users of the black flame, clothed in the skin of the clean, are a dark and occult group famed for being led by the Glowmite Queen and aiding in the rebellion against the Erd Tree and failing, resulting in their loss of power. Unfortunately, not much is known about the Glowmite Queen save for she led the Godskin apostles and was an Empyrean chose by the Fingers. She wielded the Godslayer's Greatsword, a sacred sword of the Glowmite Queen who controlled the Godskin apostles before her defeat at the hands of Malekith. The black flames wielded by the apostles are channeled from this sword. In one of my earlier videos on the Beastmen, I cover Malekith, and with this information, I believe that the Glowmite Queen wielded destined death. The black flame could once slay gods, but Malekith sealed it in his being after defeating her, and the true power was lost at that moment. Interestingly enough, the part about the flames being channeled from the sword leads me to theorize that perhaps if the sword is destroyed, so too would the black flame. But we have no information that confirms the blade being a source, as it says it's used to channel the black flame, not create it, so I will not say this theory is concrete. Sacred cloth of the Godskin apostles, made from supple skin sewn together. The Glowmite Queen cradles newborn apostles swaddled in this cloth. Soon they will grow to become the death of the gods. I usually don't go much into my own theories, but I'll break that rule here for the moment. In my previous videos on Volcano Manor, I theorized that the Godskin apostles are the result of experimentation with the Albinaurics and the offspring of Eagle after devouring Rykard, as both exist at the manor, and there's a noble apostle within the Temple of Eagle. The traits of both are apparent in the apostles, as they have a strange pale complexion and are able to move their bodies in a similar manner to the man-serpents. I do theorize that the Glowmite Queen mating with Eagle is also a possibility, as they must be birthed from a vessel. We discovered this with Datakar and the Serpent's Amnion in Raya's questline. They are also said to have assimilated human physiology, meaning they were either able to expand or took on the human form, hinting at the experimentation on the Albinaurics. The apostles, once said to serve destined death, are wielders of the god-slaying black flame. But after their defeat by Malekith the Black Blade, the source of their power was sealed away. They used the Godskin Peeler, a unique twin blade wielded by Godskin apostles characterized by its disturbing design. One end features a sickle for slicing attacks, while the other boasts a winding spike for boring into flesh. Much skill is required to wield this weapon due to its asymmetric nature. The Godskin nobles wore robes made by sewing together patches of smooth skin. Subcutaneous fat makes it plump and soft. Nobles are the most ancient apostles who are said to have assimilated in human physiology, not unlike the Crucible, the Erd Tree in its primordial form. They can also be seen wearing the seven-faced apron, made by sewing together faces of their victims. I believe these 7 faces represent the 7 beheaded gods in the Wandering Mausoleums, one of the trophies symbolic of their victories over the gods. My reason for stating this is that I theorize that the Glowmite Queen could have sent her apostles to slay these demigods in what is known as the God Hunt in the Noble Presence incantation, who were then laid to rest inside the mausoleums. The Godskin nobles wield the Godskin Stitcher, an elegant piercing sword with a celadon-colored blade. The nobles possess skill with the sword unmatched by any lowborn. Despite its size, successive attacks from this weapon are swifter than the eye can follow. They also use the Noble Presence, an ancient power of the Godskin nobles. Once a sign of the god's wrath, this incantation became a trophy of the nobles' god hunt. We find the apostles in some very curious places. An apostle is in the Windmill Village, where I theorized in a previous video that the women served them and were using it as a sort of facility to harvest skin for the apostles' robes. Another is located in Caelid in the basement of the Divine Tower. We fight a duo of spirit apostles in Spirit Caller Cave. Another noble is in the Temple of Eagle, where in my video on the Volcano Manor I theorized that they are centralized here alongside Rykard and Eagle, and have an established religion or culture. We find another noble on the bridge leading to the Divine Tower in Liurnia. I theorize that this noble is attempting to find Ranni's body to obtain one half of the Halbrand Wheel of Death, and imbue the full wheel into the black flame once they find the other half. possibly rebirthing the Black Flame. We then fight another duo in Fair Missoula. It is quite obvious they're here to take back Destined Death and rekindle the god-slaying Black Flame once again. The Black Flame monks were enthralled by the god-slaying Black Flame and became traitors, abandoning their posts as guardians. The seduction of a taboo is not easily spurned. This taboo is the Black Flame. The first of the traitors was Amon, who swore fealty to the god-slaying Black Flame. It is said that he fled from the Giant's Flame out of cowardice. This confirms that the Black Flame monks once worshipped the Giant's Flame, a subject I will cover in a later video. The Black Flame once had the power to slay gods, and was channeled through the Glowmite Queen's Godslayer greatsword. The Black Flame is weighty, and continues to burn for a time. And as discussed earlier, the true power of this flame was lost when Malekith sealed Destined Death after defeating the Glowmite Queen. It's not only used as a weapon, as they used it to protect themselves from harm. The apostles were all embraced by the Glowmite Queen, and the Black Flame was their armor within. They could also create barriers around them or create whirlwinds to fend off enemies. The Godslayer's seal is said to represent the manipulation of the Black Flame, enhancing Godslayer incantations, and we can learn the Black Flame incantations ourselves with the Godskin prayer book, a tome bound in similar supple skin to that of the robes. In a previous video, we observed Damanula, the Windmill Village, where I theorized that the women here serve and hunt for skin to offer the Godskin Apostles. This is reinforced by the presence of a Godskin Apostle at the peak of the village. These women wear the festive hood and garb, wreathed in flowers and faintly bloodstained, and the blue festive hood and garb worn only by young maids who play the central role in the festival. This festival becomes a bit more sinister and dark in nature with the dialogue of the village spirit that cowers by the grace. He says he hears a festive melody, and not to skin him, and that he swears his hide is filthy. We can draw the conclusion that this festival is more of a hunt, to find clean and supple skin for the Godskin Apostles to use for their robes, and the young maids in blue are possibly the ones who skinned the victims. During the festivities at Damanula, the celebrants wield cleavers, rakes, and sickles made from human bone. The celebrant's skull is a curious find, as the skull used to fashion the bludgeoning end of it is too large in size to be human. This has certainly turned out to be quite a festival, to say the least. If you made it to the end of this video, you have my thanks. I was going to go more into some of my own theory in this video, but as I was writing that section, I realized that I'll be using it for a future video in which I discuss the full theory on the, in quotes, Silver Order. It is unfortunate for this video, though, that there's no NPCs with dialogue or more items that pertain to the Glowmite Queen and the Godskin Apostles, as some more solid information is quite useful for these types of videos. All that aside, I'd like to give a special shout out to Dim, who helped me flesh out the video's topic, reviewed some of my own theory, and discussed many aspects that attributed and surrounded to the concept of the video. The Discord is linked in the description below. Like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more content. I'll see you in the next one.